So next is 68th question. Consider the following statement. The Chinese pilgrim Fahin attended the fourth great Buddhist council held by Kanishka. Second one, the Chinese pilgrim Hyun met Harsha and found him to be antagonistic to Buddhism. So which of the following statement given above are correct? One only, two only, both one and two, and neither one or two. So the first statement answer is neither one or two, both are wrong. The Chinese pilgrim Fahin attended attended the fourth great Buddhist council held by Kanishka. Actually, Fahin he came during the Chandragupta II, during Gupta dynasty, not Kushana time. Next, second one, the Chinese pilgrim Hyun Sang met Harsha and found him to be antagonistic to Buddhism. So Hyun Sang met Harsha and found him to be not antagonistic, he is agonistic to the Buddhism. So 68, the statement 1 is incorrect because as fourth Buddhist council was held in Kashmir during the reign of Kanishka under the presidency of Vasumitra and Ashwagosha. Fahin visited India during the reign of Chandragupta II and not during the Kanishka's reign. So statement 2 is incorrect as Harsha was not antagonistic to Buddhism when Hyun Sang met him. 69th question. With reference to the ancient Jainism, which one of the following statement is correct? So Jainism was spread in South India under the leadership of Sthalabahu. The Jainas who remained under the leadership of Bhadrabahu were called Shvetambara after the council held at Pataliputra. So Jainism enjoyed the patronage of the Kalinga king Karavela in the 1st century BC. In the initial stage of Jainism, the Jainas worshipped images unlike the Buddhist. So here the correct statement is option C. Jainism enjoyed the patronage of the Kalinga king Karavela in the 1st century BC. So option A is wrong because Jainism was spread in South India under the leadership of Bhadrabahu, not Sthalabahu. Next second one, second option B is wrong again. The Jainas who remained under the leadership of Bhadrabahu were called Digambaras, not Shvetambaras. After the first council held at Pataliputra by that is modern Patna by Sthalabahu. Okay. Next 70th question. Which one of the following four Vedas contains an account of magical charms and spells? So Rigveda, Yajurveda, Atharva Veda, Samveda, that is magical charms and spells is option C, Atharvana Veda. That is Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda is a book of magical formula. Atharva, magical formula. It contains charms and spells to ward off OFF of evil and diseases. 71 question. Who among the following was not a contemporary of other three? So Bimbisara, Gautama Buddha, Milinda and Prasenjit. So here the answer is option C. Milinda is not a contemporary of the other three. Why? Because the Bimbisara belonged to Haryanka dynasty. The Magadha empire came into prominence under him. He was that is Bimbisara was a contemporary of Buddha. He strengthened his position by marriage alliances. His first wife was the sister of Prasenjit, that is son of King Koshala, who was also contemporary of Buddha. So Bimbisara, Gautama Buddha and the Prasenjit, all the three are contemporaries, whereas Milinda is not a contemporary of these three. 72 question. Who among the following laid the foundation of Rashtrakuta Empire? Ashwaghosh, Amoghavarsha, Dantidurga, Dhruva, Krishna 1. So the answer is option B, Dantidurga. Dantidurga, a feudatory of Chalukyas, founded Rashtrakuta Empire in 753 CE, that is RAD, with their capital at Manyaket. Next 73rd question. Between which of the following was the ancient town of Takshashila located? So A. Indus and Jhelum, B. Jhelum and Chenab, C. Chenab and Ravi, D. Ravi and Bias. So answer is it is A for 73rd A, that is Indus and Jhelum. Why? Sindhu was the old name of the river Indus and Vitasta was the old name of river Jhelum. So Indus na haleya ಹೆಸರು Sindhu, Jhelum na ಹಳೆಯ ಹೆಸರು Vitasta. In present time, Takshashila situated in Pakistan. So ancient town Takshashila ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಎರಡು ನದಿಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ that is Indus and Jhelum. Next 74th. With reference to the invaders in ancient India, which one of the following is the correct chronological order? So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಬಂದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗ್ರೀಕ್ಸ್, ಶಾಕಾಸ್, ಕುಶನಾಸ್. ಗ್ರೀಕ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಶಾಕಾಸ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕುಶನಾಸ್. ಸೊ ಗ್ರೀಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಲೆಕ್ಸಾಂಡರ್. ಯಾರು ಅಲೆಕ್ಸಾಂಡರ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ 326 ಬಿ ಸಿ ಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಶಾಕಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 90 ಬಿ ಸಿ ಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ದೆನ್ ಕುಶನಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 45 ಸಿ ಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 75th question. Consider the following statement. The first statement, the Ikshvaku rulers of the southern India were antagonistic towards Buddhism. The Pala rulers, second one, the Pala rulers of the eastern India were patrons of the Buddhism. So here, so which of the following statement are given are correct? So one only, two only, no both 1 and 2, and neither 1 or 2. So option B is 2 only. So why statement 1 is incorrect? As most of the inscriptions of the Andhra Ikshvaku period record either the construction of Buddhist viharas or are the gifts made to them, which shows that Ikshvaku rulers of the southern India were supporters of Buddhism, not antagonistic. So Ikshvaku rulers of southern India were supporters towards the Buddhism, and the Pala rulers of eastern India were the patrons of Buddhism. Is correct ಇದೆ. So option B, 2 only answer. 76th question. The Allahabad pillar inscription is associated with which one of the following? So Mahapadmananda, Chandragupta Maurya, Ashoka, Samudragupta. So Allahabad pillar inscription is associated with the option D, that is Samudragupta. It was written, that is Allahabad pillar inscription was written by Samudragupta's court poet called Harisena. Next 77th question. What does Baudayan theorem, that is called Baudayan Sulva Sutra, related to? A, length of the sides of the right angle triangle. B, calculation of the value of pi. C, logarithmic calculations. D, normal distribution curve. That is option A, that is length of the sides of a right angle triangle. So this is same as the Pythagoras theorem. Next 78th question. Anekantavada is a core theory and philosophy of which one of the following? Anekantavada. So A, Buddhism, B, Jainism, C, Sikhism, D, Vaishnavism. So answer is option B, Jainism. Anekantavada related to Jainism. The Jaina metaphysics is realistic and relativistic pluralism. It is called Anekantavada, or are called doctrine of mayness of reality. That is, matter and spirit are regarded as separate and independent realities. 79th question. There are only 2 known examples of cave paintings of the Gupta period in ancient India. One of these is painting of Ajanta caves. Where is the other surviving example of Gupta painting? So A, Bhag caves, B, Ellora caves, C, Lomas Rishi cave, D, Nasik caves. So 79th, the answer is A, Bhag caves. A copper plate inscriptions of Maharaja Subandhu recording his donation for the repair of the vihara was found at the site of cave number 2. Though the date of Bhag inscriptions is missing, the Bhadwani copper plate inscription is dated in the year Gupta era, that is 167 in bracket 487. ಸೊ ಗುಪ್ತಾ ಪೀರಿಯಡಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಕೇವ್ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಅಜಂತಾ ಕೇವ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಭಾಗ್ ಕೇವ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 80th question. India maintained its early cultural contacts and trade links with Southeast Asia across the Bay of Bengal for this preeminence of the early maritime history of Bay of Bengal. Which of the following could be most convincing explanation or are explanations? So answer options. A, as compared to other countries, India had a better shipbuilding technology in ancient and medieval times. B, the rulers of the southern India always patronized traders, Brahmin priests and the Buddhist monks in this context. C, monsoon winds across the Bay of Bengal facilitated sea voyages. D, both A and B are convincing explanation of this context. So for D, option D is the right answer, that is both A and B are convincing explanation of this context. Actually the monsoon winds across not Bay of Bengal, that is across the Arabian Sea, facilitated sea voyages. So remaining option A and B is right. That is A is, as compared to the other countries, India had a better shipbuilding technology in ancient and medieval times, and the rulers of southern India has always patronized traders, Brahmin priests and Buddhist monks in this context. Next 81st question. The Jain philosophy holds that the world is created and maintained by universal law, universal truth, universal faith, universal soul. So answer is option B, universal. So for this answer is universal law. Option A, 81. The Jain philosophy holds that the world is created and maintained by. Option A answer is universal law. Option A universal law. That means all the constituents and actions are governed by universal natural laws. Next, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 82nd, ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಇಂಡಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿ ಸಿವಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. It was predominantly a secular civilization and a religious element, though present, did not dominate the scene. During this period, the cotton was used for manufacturing textiles in India. So answer, which is the correct one? A 1 only, 2 B only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 or 2. So answer is both 1 and 2 is the correct answer. So regarding Indus Valley civilization, we have read about the Mehragar cotton related to Mehragar cotton, which is the earliest examples of cotton cultivation in the old world, older than the Peruvians. The cloth was made and even dyed. So statement 2 is correct. The first statement is also correct and has been lifted from a famous history book, that is, it was predominantly a secular civilization and the religious element, though present, did not dominate the scene. Yes. Next, 83rd question. The Dharma and Rita depict the central idea of ancient Vedic civilization of India. In this context, consider the following statement. Dharma was a conception of obligations and of discharge of one's duties to oneself and to others. Rita was the fundamental moral law governing the functioning of the universal and all it contained. So which is the correct one? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 or 2. So for 83rd, it is C, both 1 and 2 is the correct answer. So Rita refers to a regulation order by nature and was related to the conduct of Vedic gods and humans, somewhere related to moral and physical law. So statement 2 is correct. Rita was later replaced by Dharma and was a more sophisticated form of principles of law. As per Chanakya, Dharma was the promotion of one's own security, happiness as well as social order. Okay. Next, 84th question. With the reference to the scientific progress of ancient India, which one of the following given below are correct? So option 1, that is, different kinds of specialized surgical instruments were common in use by 1st century AD. Next, B, transplant of internal organs in the human body had begun by the beginning of 3rd century AD. The concept of sine of an angle was known in 5th century AD. Fourth one, the concept of cyclic quadrilaterals was known in 7th century AD. So select the correct answer using the codes given below. So 1 and 2 only, 3 and 4 only, 1, 3, 4 only, 1, 2, 3, 4 on. So answer is 1, 3, 4. 2 is wrong. Why? Because the transplant of internal organs in the human body had begun by the beginning of not 3rd century alla. Okay, 1, 3, 4. So surgical instrument 1st century, cyclic sine of angle is 5th century, the cyclic quadrilateral is 7th century, whereas transplant of internal organ it is not in 3rd century. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದು ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗಂತ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 85th question. With reference to the history of ancient India, which of the following were common to both Buddhism and Jainism? The avoidance of extremities of the penance and the enjoyment. So this is wrong. Indifference to the authority of the Vedas and denial of efficacy of the rituals. So 85th is 2 and 3 only correct answer. Why? Because the both Buddhism and Jainism are denied the authority of the Vedas and the efficacy of the rituals. So avoidance of the extremities and the penance and enjoyment ಈ ಥರ ಏನಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. Next, 86th question. The Nagara, Dravida and the Vesara are the A, 3 main racial groups of the Indian subcontinent, 3 main linguistic divisions into which the languages of India can be classified. C, 3 main styles of the Indian temple architecture. D, 3 main musical gharanas prevalent in India. So answer is 3 main styles of Indian temple architecture. So option C, that is Nagara, Dravida and the Vesar are the 3 main styles of Indian temple architecture. 87th question. Lord Buddha's image is sometimes shown with the hand gestures called Bhumi Sparsha Mudra. What it symbolizes? Means So option A, Buddha calling the earth to watch over Mara and prevent Mara from the disturbing his meditation. Option B, Buddha's calling of the earth to witness his purity and chastity despite the temptation of the Mara. Buddha's C, option C, Buddha's reminder to his followers that they all arise from the earth and finally resolve into the earth, and thus this life is transitory. D, both the statement A and B are correct in this context. So the answer is option B. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬುದ್ಧ ಕಾಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅರ್ತ್ ಟು ವಿಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಪ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಚೇಸ್ಟಿಟಿ ಡೆಸ್ಪೈಟ್ ದ ಟೆಂಪ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮರ. ಸೊ ಭೂಮಿ ಸ್ಪರ್ಶ ಮುದ್ರಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಬುದ್ಧಾಸ್ ಕಾಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅರ್ತ್ ಟು ವಿಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಪ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಚೇಸ್ಟಿಟಿ ಡೆಸ್ಪೈಟ್ ದ ಟೆಂಪ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮರ. That means the earth witness Buddha is one of the most common iconic image of the Buddhism. It depicts the Buddha sitting in the meditation with his left hand palm upright in his lap and his right hand touching the earth. This represents the moment of the Buddha's enlightenment. Next, 88th question. The religion of early Vedic Aryans was primarily of A. Bhakti, B. Image worship and yagnas, C. Worship of nature and yagnas, D. Worship of nature and bhakti. So for this 88, option C is the answer, that is worship of nature and yagnas. So the early Vedic Aryans indulged in image worship and the yagna. Image worship with ಮತ್ತೆ early Vedic Aryans indulged. Okay, but answer is worship of nature and the yagna. Yes, early Vedic Aryans. So the option C is the answer, that is nature na ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಜ್ಞನ ವರ್ಷಿಪ್ ಮಾಡೋರು. So 89th question. With reference to the guilds called Shreni of ancient India that played a very important role in the country's economy, which one of the following statement is or are correct? First option, every guild was registered with the central authority of the state and the king was the chief administrative authority on them. Second one, the wages, rules of work, standards and prices were fixed by the guild. C, that is the third option, the guild has a judicial power over its own members. So which is the correct? We have to choose A 1 and 2 only, B 3 only, C 2 and 3 only, D 1 2 3 only. So 89th is C, 2 and 3 only. Why this first one is wrong? Why? Because not every guild. That means the wages, the rules of work, standard and the prices were fixed by the guild. That means not by the every guild. Okay, ಅದು ಎವ್ರಿ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. The wages, rules of the work, standards and the prices were fixed by the guild. The guilds has a judicial power also. Next, 90th question. Some Buddhist rock cut caves are called chaityas while the others are called viharas. What is the difference between the two? So either direct answer ಹೋಗುವೆ. So option B is the answer, that is chaitya is a place of worship and while vihara is a dwelling place of the monks. Chaitya is a place of worship and vihara is the dwelling place of a monks. So 90th, that is chaitya refers to hall enclosing the stupa. Chaityas were probably constructed to hold large number of devotees for prayer. Viharas means, on the other hand, viharas are constructions built in the ancient India in order to provide a resting places for the wandering Buddhist monks. Next, 91st question. With reference to the history of the philosophical thought in India, consider the following statement regarding Sankhya school. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 1, Sankhya does not accept the theory of rebirth or transmigration of the soul. 2, Sankhya holds that it is a self-knowledge and leads to the liberations and not any exterior influence or agent. So which is the correct? ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 or 2. So 91st is B, that is 2 only. That means why option A is wrong. Sankhya yoga believes that self-knowledge leads to liberation. Very important. Self-knowledge leads to liberation and not any exterior influence or agent. Almost all the rest of the philosophies of India adopted Sankhya as its main base. Sankhya yoga also believes in the rebirth. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ option 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ, that is statement 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ does not accept the theory of rebirth ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. No, they accept the theory of rebirth According to the Sankhya Darshan, each Purusha experiences Bhoga, Apavarga, takes birth repeatedly until Kaivalya, that is moksha. Next, 92nd question. Which one of the following describes the best concept of nirvana in Buddhism? Nirvana in Buddhism. So, A, that is extinction of flame of a desire. B, the complete annihilation of self. C, a state of bliss and rest. D, a mental stage beyond all comprehension. So, 92 is A, that is the extinction of the flame of a desire. The extinction of flame of a desire. That means the concept of nirvana was originally explained by Lord Buddha. The word nirvana comes from the root meaning to blow out and refers to the extinguishing of the fires of hatred, delusion. So, when these emotional and psychological defilement are destroyed by the wisdom, the mind becomes free, radiant, and joyful. And he he who was realized the truth called nirvana is the happiest being in the world. He is free from all the complexes and obsessions. He does not repent the past, nor does he brood over the future. He lives fully in present. He appreciates and enjoys things in life in the purest sense without self projections. He is free from the thirst of becoming and the illusion of self. Buddhism explains nirvana as a state of bliss or peace. So option A is the answer, the extinction of flame of desire. Nirvana means the extinction of, option A, extinction of flame of desire. 93rd question. Which of the following characterizes the people of Indus Valley civilization? So they possessed great palaces and temples. They worshipped both male and female deity. They employed horse-drawn chariots in the warfare. Which is the correct? So 1 and 2 only, 2 only, 1, 2, 3, and none of the statement is above is correct. So answer is, it is B, that is 2 only. That is, they worshipped both male and female deity. ಪ್ಯಾಲೇಸ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಾರ್ಸ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್, ಇಂಡಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪೊಸೆಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾಲೇಸಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ಸ್. ರಾದರ್ ದ ಸಿವಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ವಾಸ್ ನೋಟೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್ ಸಿಟೀಸ್ ಬಿಲ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ bricks, roadside, drainage system, and multi-storied houses. Indus Valley people were peace-loving. They were never engaged in any war. However, speculations have been rife that some tectonic forces destroyed the civilization. Some historians are of the view that invasion of Aryans, sea level changes, earthquakes might have brought the civilization to its end. Therefore, people employing horse-drawn chariots in the warfare is not true. Moreover, Indus Valley seals show swastika, animals, which is suggestive of their religious beliefs. In view of large numbers of figurines found in the Indus Valley, some scholars believed that they worshipped mother goddesses symbolizing fertility. They worshipped a father god who might be a progenitor of the race and was probably a prototype of Shiva as the lord of animals. Next, 94th question. Which of the following statement is or applicable to Jain doctrine? So the one statement 1, the surest way of annihilating karma is to practice penance. Statement 2, that is, every object, even the smallest particle, has a soul. Third one, that is, karma is the bane of the soul and must be ended. So here, which is the correct one? 1 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2, 3 all. So is really option 1, 2, 3 all. 94, it is D. That means surest way of annihilating karma is to practice penance. Karma is the bane of the soul and must be ended. Swadhyaya paramam tap. Swadhyaya paramam tap. According to Jain doctrine, penance washes away all the blemishes and purges the soul of all karmic matter. Also, according to Jainism, karma is the bane of the soul. Karma not only encompasses the causality of the transmigration, but it also conceived as an extremely subtle matter which infiltrates the soul, obscuring its natural, transparent, pure qualities. Karma is thought of as a kind of pollution that taints the soul with various colors. Based on its karma, a soul undergoes transmigration and reincarnation in the various states of existence, like heavens or our hells or our as humans or our animals. So ellanu correct. Next, 95th question, with reference to the history of the Indian rock cut architecture, consider the following statement. Statement 1, the caves at Badami are the oldest surviving rock cut caves in India. The Barbara rock cut caves were originally made for Ajivikas by Emperor Chandragupta Maurya. At Ellora, the caves were made for different faiths. Which is the correct one? 1 only, 2 and 3 only, 3 only, 1, 2, 3 only. So option B, 2 and 3 only the correct answer. Why the first one is wrong? The caves at Barbara, not Badami, Barbara caves are the oldest surviving rock cut caves in India. So Barbara rock cut caves were originally made for Ajivikas by Emperor Chandragupta Maurya. At Ellora, the caves were made for different faiths. That is, the Barbara rock cut caves are the oldest rock cut caves. They were originally made for Ajivikas during the Mauryan period, that is 322 to 185 BCE. The Ellora caves were built between 5th century and 10th century. There were 34 caves and 5 were Jain caves. Sorry, there were 34 caves, out of which 12 were Buddhist caves. 12 were Buddhist caves, 17 were Hindus and 5 were Jain caves. So 34 caves ಇದೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 12 Buddhist, 17 Hindu, 5 Jains. The proximity of the caves clearly demonstrate the religious harmony prevalent at that period of time. Next, 96th question. The Chinese traveler Hyun Chuang, that is Hyun Sang, who visited India, recorded the general conditions and the culture of India at that time. In this context, which of the following statement is or are correct? The roads and statement 1, the roads and the river routes were completely immune from the robbery. Second statement, that is the as regards punishment for offences, ordeals by fire, water and poison were the instrument for the determining the innocence or guilt of a person. Third one, the tradesmen had to pay duties at ferries and a barrier station. So select the correct answers using the code below. So 1 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, or 1, 2, 3 all. So option B, 2 and 3 only, that is 96 is B. Yes. So the tradesman had to pay the light duties. Just a minute. So the roads and the river routes were completely immune from the robbery anta illilla, full robbery age ittu. So the tradesman had to pay light duties at ferries and barriers. After paying the revenue, they could go to and fro to barter their merchandise. The punishment for social offences, according to the traveller's account, were to cut off the nose or an ear or an hand. Minor offences were dealt with fines. And to determine the guilt or innocence, ordeals by fire, water and poison were the instrument which were used. Okay. So 2 and 3 ಮಾತ್ರ correct ಇದೆ, 1 wrong ಇದೆ. Next, 97th. In the context of cultural history of India, a pose in dance and dramatics called Tribhanga had been a favorite of Indian artists from the ancient times till today. Which one of the following statement best describes this pose? So ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, option A, one leg is bent and the body is slightly but oppositely curved waist and a neck. Option B, facial expression, hand gestures and makeup are combined to symbolize certain epic or historic characters. Option C, the movements of the body, face and the hands are used to express oneself or tell to a story. Option D, a little smile, slightly curved waist and certain hand gestures are emphasized to express the feelings of love and eroticism. So for 97th, it's option A, that is one leg is bent and the body slightly but oppositely curved a waist and a neck. The pose Tribhanga is a favorite posture of Lord Krishna. We have often seen Lord Krishna standing in a Tribhanga posture before his cow Kamadhenu or whenever he is playing his flute. He is often called Tribhanga Murari. Next, 98th question. Consider the following historic places. That is statement 1, there is 1 Ajanta Caves, 2 Lepakshi Temple, 3 Sanchi Stupa. Which of the following the above places is known as mural painting? 1 only, 1 and 2 only, 1, 2, 3 and D none. So answer is B, option B, 98 option B, that is 1 and 2 only. 1 and 2 ಅಂದರೆ ಅಜಂತಾ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಲೇಪಾಕ್ಷಿ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಎರಡೂ ಕೂಡ ಮುರಾಲ್ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸಾಂಚಿ ಸ್ತೂಪ ಮುರಾಲ್ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. That means Ajanta caves have mural paintings in cave number 1, 2, 16 and 17. Some of the paintings were commissioned by Harisena for Vakataka dynasty. The theme of painting was Jataka tales. Whereas about the Lepakshi temple is renowned for being one of the best repositories of mural painting of the Vijayanagara kings. Sanchi Stupa has many beautiful sculptures but not mural painting. ಸೊ ಓನ್ಲಿ ವಜಂತ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲೇಪಾಕ್ಷಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮುರಾಲ್ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ಗೆ, ಸಾಂಚಿ ಅಲ್ಲ. 99th ಕ್ವಶನ್, ವಿತ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಪೇರ್ಸ್. ಫೇಮಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸೈಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಆರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ. 1 and 2 ಓನ್ಲಿ, 3 ಓನ್ಲಿ, 1 and 3 ಓನ್ಲಿ, 1, 2, 3. ಸೊ ಇಯರ್ 1 and 3 ಓನ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದರೆ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಜಂತಾದಲ್ಲಿ a grand image of Buddha's Mahaparinirvana with a numerous celestial musicians above and sorrowful figures of his followers below adide. Whereas Mamallapuramally Arjuna's penance, descent of Ganga sculpted on the surface of the huge boulders ide. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಬು ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಬು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮಾಮಲ್ಲಪುರಮಲ್ಲಿ a huge image of Varaha avatar, boar incarnation of Vishnu as he rescues a goddess earth from the deep and a chaotic waters sculpted on the rock. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಬು ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಥರ ಇರೋದು ಬೋರ್ ಇನ್ಕಾರ್ನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಇರೋದು ಮಾಮಲ್ಲಪುರಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ 1 and 3 ಓನ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಸೊ 1 ಈಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದ ಪರಿನಿರ್ವಾಣ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬುದ್ಧ ಇನ್ ದ ಕೇವ್ 17 ಆಫ್ ಅಜಂತಾ with numerous celestial musicians above and the sorrowful figures of his followers below is one of the grandest and yet most delicately expressive scenes ever made in the stone. Statement 2 is wrong. Because a huge image of Varaha avatar of Vishnu as he rescues the goddess earth from the deep and chaotic water sculpted on rock found in Mamallapuram, not in Mount Abu. So statement 3 is correct because Arjuna's penance, a descent of Ganga sculpted on the surface of the huge boulders is found in Mamallapuram. So next 100th question, with reference to the Buddhist history, tradition and the culture in India, consider the following pairs. There is famous shrine ಮತ್ತು ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದು. ಸೊ ತಬೋ ಮೊನಾಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್, ತಬೋ ಮೊನಾಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಇರೋದು ಸ್ಪಿಟಿ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ಲೋಹಟ್ಸವ ಲಖಂಗ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ನಾಕೋದಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದು ಇರೋದು ಹಿಮಾಚಲ್ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜನ್ಸ್ಕರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಜನ್ಸ್ಕರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಜಮ್ಮು ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರಲ್ಲಿ. ಲೋಟ್ಸಾಂಗ್ ಲಕ್ವಾಂಗ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ನಾಕೋ ಇರೋದು ಹಿಮಾಚಲ್ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಲ್ಚಿ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದು ಲಡಾಖಲ್ಲಿ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ತಬೋ ಮೊನಾಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಪಿಟಿ ವ್ಯಾಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಅಲ್ಚಿ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಲಡಾಖ್ ಎರಡೂ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ವೆರಸ್ ಲೋಟ್ಸಾವ ಲಖಂಗ್ ನಾಕೋ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಹಿಮಾಚಲ್ ಪ್ರದೇಶ್, ಜಸ್ಕರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿ ಇನ್ ಜಮ್ಮು ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 1 and 3 ಮಾತ್ರ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 101 ಕ್ವೆಶನ್, ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ 6th ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿ. ಸೊ ಎ ಮೀಮಾಂಸಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೇದಾಂತ, ಬಿ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೈಶೇಷಿಕ, ಸಿ ಲೋಕಾಯತ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಪಾಲಿಕ, ಡಿ ಸಾಂಖ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಯೋಗ. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಅಲ್ಲ 6th ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿಲಿ ಯಾವುದಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಲೋಕಾಯತ ಮತ್ತು ಕಪಾಲಿಕ. ಇನ್ನು ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಲೋಕಾಯತ ಮತ್ತು ಕಪಾಲಿಕ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ 6 ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿ. ದೆನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ದ 6 ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿ ಆರ್ 1 ಸಾಂಖ್ಯ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪುರುಷ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಯೋಗ, ರಿಲೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಪುರುಷ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ. ಥರ್ಡ್ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್. ಡಿ ವೈಶೇಷಿಕ, that is fourth one Vaisheshika, realistic and objective philosophy of universe. Fifth one Mimamsa means analyzing Samhita and Brahmana portion of Veda. Sixth one Vedanta, it is the climax of Indian philosophy. Okay, next 102 question, the national motto of India Satyameva Jayate inscribed below the emblem of India is taken from A. Kata Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Aitariya Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishads. So option D, that is Mundaka Upanishads. The word Satyameva Jayate came from the Mundaka Upanishad meaning truth alone triumphs. Next 103rd question, which one of the following kingdoms were associated with the life of a Buddha? So 1 Avanti, D Gandhara, 3 Kosala, 4 Magadha. ಸೊ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. A 1 2 3, B 2 4, C 3 and 4 only, D 1 3 4. So option C, that is 3 and 4 only. That means Buddha associated with Kosala and Magadha, not for Avanti, not for Gandhara. Buddha born in Lumbini in Kosala. Lumbini ಇರೋದು ಕೋಸಲಾದಲ್ಲಿ, ಕೋಸಲ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಬುದ್ಧ ಡೈಡ್ ಇನ್ ಕುಸಿನಾರ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅದು ಇರೋದು ಮಗಧ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Avanti lay outside the area visited by the Buddha and was converted to his teaching by his disciple Mahakakkana. Gandhara is a western part of Pakistan and Afghanistan, and Buddha never went to Pakistan. Oh. Next, 104th question. With reference to the art and archaeological history of India, which one among the following was made earliest? A. Lingaraja temple at Bhubaneswar, B. rocket elephant at Dhauli, C. rocket monuments at Mahabalipuram, D. Varaha image at Udayagiri. So answer is option B, rocket elephant at Dhauli. Dhauli ಇರೋದು ಒಡಿಶಾ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಿಂಗವರಾಗಿತ್ತು. Yes. Rocket elephant at Dhauli was built during the reign of Ashoka in 250 BC. Whereas the Lingaraja temple at Bhubaneswar was built by Yayati during 1025 to 1040. Rocket monument at Mahabalipuram were built during 7th to 8th century AD during the reign of Pallava. Varaha image at Udayagiri was built by Chandragupta II of Gupta Empire. So earliest ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದರೆ ಆರ್ಕಿಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ with reference to the art and archaeological history, which is the made earliest ಅಂದರೆ rocket elephant at Dhauli. Okay. Next, 105 question, that is which one of the following books of the ancient India has the love story of son of the founder of Shunga dynasty? Swapna Vasavadatta, Malavika Agnimitra, Meghdhuta, D. Ratnavali. So 105 is B, that is Malavika Agnimitra. Malavika Agnimitra is a Sanskrit play by Kalidasa. The play tells the love story of Agnimitra by Shunga emperor. He falls in love with the picture of an exiled servant girl named Malavika. Next, 106th question. In the context of the history of India, consider the following spades, term and descriptions. First one, Eripatti. Eripatti means that is a land revenue. Eripatti means land, a revenue from which was set up apart for the main maintenance of the village tank. Taniyurs means the large village donated by the single Brahmana or a group of Brahmana anta ide. So Taniyur wrong agutte. That means it's a large village donated to a single unit of Brahmana, not for the group of Brahmana. Okay, Taniyur andre. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಘಟಿಕಾಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಕಾಲೇಜಸ್ ಜನರಲಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಟು ದ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಒನ್? ಅದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಡಿ 1 and 3 ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎರಿಪಟ್ಟಿ. Eripatti is a land donated by the individuals. The revenue from this land was set apart for the maintenance of the village tank. Occasionally a very large village would be administered as a single unit, and this is called Taniyur. This a large village would be administered as a single unit, that is a Taniyur. Okay. Next, 107th, that is with reference to the religious history of India, consider the following statement. Sautrantika and Sammatiya were the sects of Jainism. Sarvastivadin held that the constituents of phenomena were not wholly momentary but existed forever in the latent form. Which one of the following statement are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, and neither 1 nor 2. So option 107 do option B, that is Sautrantika and Sammatiyas has Buddhism sects. So first statement is wrong. Sautrantika ಮತ್ತೆ Sammatiya, that is related to Buddhism. Sautrantika, Sammatiya, Buddhism. Whereas Sarvastivadin held that Sarvastivadin was a sect of Buddhism, believes that all the things exist and exist continuously in the past and the future as well as in the present. So second statement is right. Next, 108 question. The painting of Bodhisattva Padmapani is one of the most famous and half illustrated paintings at A. Ajanta, B. Badami, C. Bhag, D. Ellora. So 108, that is A, that is Ajanta. ಪದ್ಮಪಾನಿ ಬೋಧಿಸತ್ವ ಅಟ್ ಅಜಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕೇವ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1 ಬೋಧಿಸತ್ವ ಪದ್ಮಪಾನಿ ಕೇವ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1 ಅಜಂತಾದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 109th ಕ್ವೆಶನ್, ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಆರ್ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸನ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್? ಸೊ ಅರಸಾವಳ್ಳಿ, ಅಮರಕಂಟಕ್, ಓಂಕಾರೇಶ್ವರ. ಸೊ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ 1 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1 to 3. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ 109ಗೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಎ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 1 only ಅಂದರೆ ಅರಸಾವಳ್ಳಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಅರಸಾವಳ್ಳಿ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಶ್ರೀಕಾಕುಲಂ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್, ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಸನ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್. ಸೊ ಓಂಕಾರೇಶ್ವರ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಶ್ರೀ ಓಂಕಾರೇಶ್ವರ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಅದು ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಓಂಕಾರೇಶ್ವರ, ಓಂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶಿವ, ಸೊ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಶಿವ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ ಸನ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್. ವೆರಸ್ ಅಮರಕಂಟಕ್ ಇನ್ ಮಧ್ಯಪ್ರದೇಶ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಬಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎನಿ ಸನ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಮರಕಂಟಕ ರಾಂಗು, ಓಂಕಾರೇಶ್ವರನ ರಾಂಗು. ಸೊ ಅರಸವಳ್ಳಿ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 110th ಕ್ವೆಶನ್, ವಿತ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಋಗ್ವೇದ ಆರ್ಯನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಇಂಡಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿ ಪೀಪಲ್, which of the following statement is are correct? Now first statement, Rigveda Aryans used the coat of mail and helmet in the warfare, whereas the people of Indus Valley civilization did not leave any evidence of using them. 2, that is Rigveda Aryans knew the gold, silver and copper, whereas Indus Valley people knew only copper and iron. So higandre for 110th ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಥರ್ಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಗ್ವೇದಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಯನ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಡೊಮೆಸ್ಟಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ದ ಹಾರ್ಸ್, ವೆರಾಸ್ ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲೀಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬೀನ್ ಅವೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಒನ್. 1 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1 to 3. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 1 and 3 ಆರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ Indus Valley people, the Rigvedic Aryans used the coat of mail and helmet in the warfare, whereas the people of Indus Valley civilization did not leave any evidence of using them. And the third option is also right, the Rigvedic Aryans had domesticated the horse, whereas for the Indus Valley people, that is there is no evidence, and they are no aware of these animals also. Okay, the Indus Valley also knew the gold and silver, and there is no evidence of Indus Valley people has been aware of horse. If we go by the history books, Krishna Reddy or S. Sharma, we can find. Okay, so this is the answer is 1 and 3 only. Next 111th question, which one of the following was the very important seaport in the Kakatiya kingdom? That is A, Kakinada, B, Motupalli, C, Machilipatnam, that is Masulipatnam, D, Nelluru. So that is option B, 101th, that is option B, Motupalli. That is Ganapati was the most powerful of Kakatiya sovereigns. Ganapati. Motupalli, now in Krishna district, was an important seaport in his kingdom, frequently by the foreigner merchants. So B is the answer. Next 112th question, with reference to the religious practice in India, the Stanakwasi sect belongs to. Stanakwasi, that is sect belongs to A, Buddhism, B, Jainism, C, Vaishnavism, D, Shaivism. So Stanakwasi anta ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ that is option B, Jainism. Stanakwasi don't differ much from the other Shvetambara Jainas, hence nowadays they invariably call themselves Shvetambara Stanakwasi. Next 113th question, with reference to the Indian history, who among the following is the future Buddha yet to come to save the world? Avalikoteshwara, Lokeshwara, Maitreya and Padmapani. So 113th is C, Maitreya. Maitreya is the future Buddha whose coming was said to have been prophesied by the historical Buddha, and who in years to come would purify the world with his teachings. Let's also learn about the wrong options lest they are asked in the future exams. Avalokiteshwara means watchful lord anta, also called Padmapani, that is lotus bearer, whose attributes is compassion. which reaches down even to Avicii, means the lowest Buddhist purgatory. Next is about, that is Lokeshwara. Lokeshwara is also used as a synonym for Avalokiteshvara. Next, 114th question. Consider the following pairs of crafts versus heritage. Statement 1, Putukulli shawls, that is from Tamil Nadu. Sujini embroidery from Maharashtra. Uppada Jamdani sarees from Karnataka. So choose correct one. 1 only, 1 and 2 only, 3 only, 2 and 3 only. So 114th is A. That is Putukulli shawls bandu Tamil Nadu de. Adre Sujini embroidery is incorrect, because Sujini embroidery it belongs to yadu anta helidre, it belongs to Bihar. Whereas Uppada Jamdani sarees is also incorrect, it belongs to Andhra Pradesh, not Karnataka. So bari one day option A, that is 1 only is the correct answer. Putukulli shawls from Tamil Nadu. Next, 115th question. Consider the following pairs of tradition versus state. That is first one, Chapchar Koot festival from Mizoram. Kongjom Parba Ballad tradition from Manipur. Tang Ta dance from Sikkim. Which is the correct one? 1 only, 1 and 2 only, 3 only, 2 and 3 only. 115 is B. 115 is B. That is 1 and 2. So that is Chapchar Koot festival bandu Mizoramdu. Kongjom Parba Ballad bandu Manipurdu. That is 115 means Kongjom Parva is an important folk music from the state of Manipur. Okay, Kongjom Parba Ballad Manipurdu. It is popular ballad genre, which is a musical narration of the battle of Kongjom fought between British Army and the Manipuri resistance forces in the 1891. So statement 2 is right. Whereas Tangta is the exclusive martial dance form of Manipur. Okay, Tangta through exclusive dance form of Tangta is exclusive dance form, that is a martial dance form of Manipur. Tang means sword and Ta means spear. So statement 3 is wrong. So this element is D. Therefore option 1 and 2 is the correct answer. That is Chapchar Koot festival is also from Mizoram. Next, 116th. Which of the following is not a Harappan site? A. Chanudaro, B. Kodiji, C. Sahugar, D. Deshalpur. So option C, Sohagar is not an Harappan site. Why? Because Sohagar copper plate, the earliest known copper plate known as Sohagar copper plate, is a Mauryan record that mentions famine relief efforts. So it can't be a Harappa site. Mauryan period, the Sohagara copper plate. Next, 117th question. In which of the following relief sculpture inscription is Ranyo Ashoka, means King Ashoka, mentioned along with the stone portrait of Ashoka? That is A. Kanganahalli, B. Sanchi, C. Shahabazgari and D. Sohagara. So 117th is A. Kanganahalli. That means a team of archaeologists surveyed Sannai, Karnataka. The most dramatic evidence came from the Kanganahalli. The discoveries at the site included a broken relief sculpture showing a king and the queen flanked by the female attendants, and inscriptions in Brahmi letter read Ranya Asoka, that is King Ashoka. Next, 118th question. Consider the following. Now, statement 1, deification of Buddha. Statement 2, treading the path of Bodhisattva. Third statement, image worship and rituals, which is the feature of Mahayana Buddhism. 1 only, 1 2 only, 2 and 3 only, all 1 2 3. So 118 is D, all 1 2 3 is correct. That means the Mahayana followers believe in idol or image worship of Buddha. So 1 and 3 are correct. That is deification of Buddha and the image worship and rituals. The concept of Bodhisattva is the result of Mahayana Buddhism. Okay, so statement 2 is also correct. Next, 119th question. With reference to the forced labor called Vishti in India during the Gupta period, which one of the following statement is correct? A. It was considered a source of income for the state, a sort of tax paid by the people. B. It was totally absent in the Madhya Pradesh and Kathiawar regions of the Gupta Empire. C. The forced laborer is entitled to weekly wages. D. The eldest son of the laborer was sent as a forced laborer. So 119th is option A. That means it was considered as a source of income. With forced labor Vishti andre source of income for the state and a sort of tax paid by the people. That means forced labor is Vishti became a more common than before in the Gupta period. The fact that it is mentioned along with the taxes in the land grant inscription suggests that Vishti was considered as a source of income for the state. a sort of tax paid by the people. The fact that most of the inscriptions referring to Vishti come from the Madhya Pradesh and Kathiawar regions may suggest this practice for more prevalent in these areas. So A is right, B is wrong. 120th question. Building Kalyana Mandapas was notable feature in temple construction in the kingdom of A. Chalukya, B. Chandala, C. Rashtrakuta, D. Vijayanagara. So D. Vijayanagara answer. Vijayanagara school, more than one mandapa were built in each temple. The central mandap came to be known as Kalyana Mandap. Next question, 2020 prelims question. With reference to the cultural history of India, consider the following pairs. Statement 1, Parivrajaka means renunciant and wanderer. Shramana means priest with a high status. Third statement, Upasaka means lay follower of Buddhism. Which of the pairs given above are correctly matched? 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2, 3. So answer is option B, that is 1 and 3 only. Means Parivrajaka andre renunciant and wanderer, and Upasaka means a lay follower of Buddhism. Explanation. During the Vedic age, there was a lot of emphasis on the rituals and the sacrifices. This type of excessive ritualism produced the natural reactions in the forms of Shramana religion, which protested against the divine origin of the Vedas and efficacy of the sacrifices. Shramanas were recruited from all the people irrespective of caste and creed. Their teachers were anti-Vedic and anti-Brahmanic, and they challenged Vedic learning and Vedic rituals. So statement wrong, 2 is wrong. By elimination we left with correct answer B. Sri Narayana Guru had become the Parivrajaka, means one who wanders from one place to in quest of truth. Next question. With reference to the cultural history of India, which one of the following is the correct description of the term paramitas? The earliest Dharma Shastra's text written in the aphoristic, that is sutra style. B. Philosophical school that did not accept the authority of Vedas. C. Perfection whose attainment led to the Bodhisattva path. D. Powerful merchants guilds of early medieval South India. So answer is C. Paramitas means the perfection whose attainment led to the Bodhisattva path. Bodhisattva are the part of the Mahayana or Vajrayana tradition. They are mentioned in the Mahayana literature called as the Vaipulya Sutra, written in Sanskrit. Inside the Vaipulya Sutra, Prajna Paramita are mentioned. Next question. With reference to the history of India, the term Kulyavapa and Dronavapa denote what? Kulyavapa and Dronavapa denote A. Measurement of land, B. Coins of different monetary value, C. Classification of urban land, and D. Religious rituals. That is option A. Measurement of land. Kulyavapa and Dronavapa means measurement of land. That is measurement of land, that is different terms used during Gupta age mentioned in different inscriptions. Kulyavapa, Dronavapa, Adhavapa and Pataka from the Bengal. Nivartana and Humi, Humi, Humi from central India. Nivartana and Padavarta from the western India. Next question. Which of the following phrases defines the nature of Hundi? Hundi generally referred to in the sources of post-Harsha period. A. An advisory issued by the kings to his subordinate. B. A diary to be maintained for daily accounts. C. A bill of exchange. D. An order from the feudal lord to his subordinate. So answer is option C, that is Hundi means a bill of exchange. That means Hundi is a note recording a deposit made by a person. The amount deposited can be claimed in another place by representing the record of the deposits. Next question. With reference to the history of India, consider the following pairs. Aurang, that is in charge of treasury of the state. Baniyan, that is Indian agent of the East India Company. Mirasidar, that is designated revenue payer to the state. Which of the following pairs is correctly matched? So 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 3 only, 1 to 3 only. So option B, that is 2 and 3 only, means Baniyan andre Indian agent of the East India Company. ಮಿರಾಸಿದಾರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಡಿಸೈನೇಟೆಡ್ ರೆವೆನ್ಯೂ ಪೇಯರ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಔರಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಪರ್ಷಿಯನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ವೇರ್ ಹೌಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಇನ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರೆಷರಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸೊ ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪರ್ಷಿಯನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ವೇರ್ ಹೌಸ್. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 1 ಈಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್. Next, Mirasidar means is a common who, so we have to accept it as a correct. So everything boils down to whether second statement is correct or not. Baniyan means agent of East India Company, term used for baniya. Just okay. Mirasidar means designated revenue payers to the state. Next question. Consider the following event in the history of India: rise of Pratiharas under the King Bhoja, establishment of Pallava power under the Mahendravarman I, establishment of Chola Parantaka I, and Pala dynasty founded by the Gupta. This is you have to arrange in a chronological order. So answer correct is option C, that is 2413. Establishment of Pallava power under Mahendravarman I. Fourth one, that is Pala dynasty founded by Gopala. Next, rise of Pratihara under the King Bhoja. Next, establishment of Chola Parantaka I, 2413. Next question, that is Mahendravarman I, 590 ಇಂದ 630 CE ವರೆಗೂ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋಪಾಲ 750 CE ವರೆಗೂ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ ಭೋಜ ಪ್ರತಿಹಾರ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 836 ಇಂದ 885 CE ವರೆಗೂ. ಪರಾಂಟಕ 1 ಚೋಳ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 907 ಇಂದ 953 CE ವರೆಗೂ. Next, with reference to the history of India, consider the following pairs: famous place and present state. Bhilsa, Madhya Pradesh; Dwarasamudra, Maharashtra; Girinagar, Gujarat; Staneshwara, Uttar Pradesh. Which is the correctly matched? So here 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 2 and 3 and 2 and 4. So answer is option A, 1 and 3 only. 1 means that is Bhilsa from Madhya Pradesh, and C, Girinagar in Gujarat. Bhilsa, it is in Madhya Pradesh, known as Vidisha, main center of Shunga dynasty, and Udaygiri caves in Madhya Pradesh, and not to be confused with the Udaygiri, Odisha. Next, Girinagar, it is in Gujarat. Next, Staneshwar, it is in Uttar Pradesh. Staneshwar, it is in Uttar Pradesh. Illi kottirodu Staneshwar, Uttar Pradesh is incorrect. Staneshwar located in Haryana, not in Uttar Pradesh. Main seat of Pushyabhuti dynasty, Harshavardhana, that is 606 to 647 CE, originally belonged to Staneshwar, who later on shifted the capital at Kannauj. Next, that is Dwarasamudra. Maharashtra is incorrect because Dwarasamudra, it is related to Hoysala dynasty, used to rule from the Dwarasamudra, also known as Halebeedu, which is located in Karnataka. Next question, with reference to the period of Gupta dynasty in ancient India, the towns Gantasala, Kadura and Chaul were well known as A, ports handling foreign trade; B, capital of powerful kingdom; C, places of exquisite stone art and architecture; D, important Buddhist pilgrimage center. So answer is A, ports handling foreign trade. Ports handling foreign trade. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಘಂಟಸಾಲ, ಕಡೂರ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಚೌಲ್. Okay, that means Portuguese will be fighting the battle of Chaul to control the coastal area of the western India. Next question, with reference to the school or literatures of ancient India, consider the following statement. Panini is associated with the Pushyamitra Shunga. Amarasima is associated with the Harshavardhana. Kalidasa is associated with the Chandragupta II. Which is the correct statement is given below. So 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 3 only, 1, 2, 3 only. So option C is the answer, 3 only correct answer. Yake Kalidasa is associated with the Chandragupta II ashte. Why this is wrong question? Statement 2 is incorrect because Amarasimha belonged to the court of Chandragupta II. That is, he was one of the Navaratna. Howda? Thus by elimination we are left with the correct C only. Statement 3, that is correct because Kalidasa belonged to the court of Chandragupta II. He was one of the Navaratna again. And statement 1 is also incorrect because the Panini belongs to 5 to 6th century BCE period. He wrote Ashtadhyayi, whereas the Pushyamitra Shunga belonged to post-Mauryan period, that is 2nd century BCE. He became to the power after killing the last Mauryan king Brihadratha. Next question. Who among the following rulers advised his subjects through this inscription? Whosoever praises his religious sect or blames other sects out of excessive devotions to his own sect with a view of glorifying his own sect, he rather injures his own sect very severely. So A. Ashoka, B. Samudragupta, D. C. Harshavardhana, D. Krishnadevaraya. ಸೊ ಏನಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಶೋಕ. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಶೋಕ ಧಮ್ಮ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಟಾಕ್ಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಟಾಲರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. Next question. With reference to the religious history of India, consider the following statement. Sthaviravadin belongs to Mahayana Buddhism. Lokattaravadin sect was an offshoot of Mahasangika sect of Buddhism. The deification of Buddha by Mahasangika fostered Mahayana Buddhism. So which is the correct one? 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 3 only, and 1, 2, 3. So option B is the answer. That is 2 and 3 only correct. That is Stavaravadin, that is belongs to I will tell you later. So first correct answer will be Lokattaravadin sect was an offshoot of Mahasangika sect of Buddhism. The deification of Buddha by Mahasangika fostered Mahayana Buddhism. Okay. Fourth council convened in the Kashmir under the patronage of Kanishka. It resulted into divisions of all Buddhists into major sects. Sarvastivadin popular in Kashmir and Mathura regions, and Mahasangikas together forming the Mahayanist, that is follower of greater vehicle. Sthaviravadins and others forming the Hinayanist, follower of lesser vehicle. Thus the Sthaviravadins is not a part of Mahayana. As Sthaviravadin is not a part of Mahayana, so one is wrong. We are so okay. So in Mahasangika believed in Buddha as a deity, hence giving rise to the Mahayana Buddhism. Now everything boils down the validity of statement 2. Mahasangika gave rise to the following sects, that is 1. Eka Vyaharikas, 2. Lokattaravadins, 3. Kakkutikas, 4. Bahusritiyas, 5. Pragnapativadins, 6. Chaitya Sailas, 7. Apara Sailas, 8. Uttara Sailas. So statement 2 is right, hence our answer is B. Next question. In the context of Indian history, the Rakma Bhai case of 1884 revolved around the women's rights to gain education, age of consent, restitutions of conjugal rights. Select the correct answers using the code given below. 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 all is correct. Rakmabai was married off at an early age of 11. Hence, by 1880, she fought a court case against her husband, who demanded to live married life with her and have a physical relationship with him. She wanted to study further and also wanted the marriage age should be increased, leading to the formation of Rukmabai Defense Committee supported by the social reformer like Behramji Malbhari. Finally, leading to the age of consent bill 1891, which increased minimum age of marriage. She also became a doctor after the resuming her studies. Hence all the statements are right. Next, indigo cultivation in India declined by the beginning of the 20th century because